presenting their case. That wipes them out. They have no credibility. Luckily, he wasn't one of those. He told the truth, and that was enough to completely wipe out anything he's written on. But at least he told the truth. The judge was really upset with him for lying. The 1989 Pandas book. Now this is so fascinating how they did this. At the center of the Dover controversy provides an excellent example of this deception. ID pundits claimed that the text was the first intelligent design textbook and not a creationist text. Unfortunately, there existed damning early drafts of the book from before the Aguillard ruling that creation science could not be taught in the public schools. It used to be a creation science book, and it was declared a religion book in a former court, and it was not allowed to be taught from. So do you know what the wizards of ID did? This I have to show you. I'm going to take you out to my workshop and show you on my chalkboard. This is too astonishing not to see. This was demonstrated in court, and it pissed the judge right off. Okay, now what they did is this. In the original edition of this scientific creationist text that was outlawed as a religious text, being supposedly taught as science, it was outlawed in the 80s. What they did, this paragraph here says, creation means that the various forms of life began abruptly through the agency of an intelligent creator with their distinctive features already intact, fish with fins and wings, and fish with fins and scales, birds with feathers, beaks, and wings. That was the original scientific creationist paragraph. But when they subpoenaed all the texts, all of the documents from their scientific creation research, so that they could see, so that they could compare all the documents, this book of Pandas and People was found to be the exact same book as the scientific creationist text that read stuff like that. And you know what they did in the draft of this book of Pandas and People? They still had the draft. They were so stupid, they didn't even destroy the draft that they changed. What they did literally is a Monty Python type of thing. They had the creator struck with a line like that, and above it they had intelligent design written. And where they had the agency of an intelligent creator, they had a line struck through intelligent creator, and above it, in the margin, was penciled in the words intelligent agency. And they left the rest of the paragraph. This is what I call ID-iotic arguing. Yeah, it's id, all right. It's ID-iotic. That's what that is. ID-iotic. Yeah, that's what this is. This is literally the state of the manuscript they found when it used to be a scientific creationist book, and by changing a couple of the words, intelligent design from creation, and instead of intelligent creator, they changed it to intelligent agency, they left the same stupid, illogical arguments, the same irrational, non-scientifically supported evidences. They only struck out the words that had to do with creator, creation, and intelligent creator, and they substituted those for intelligent design and intelligent agency. And the judge, who was a conservative religious judge, threw the book at them. He crucified them. This is why the judge specifically said, you are a bunch of lying hypocrites. You aren't nothing like science. This has already been outlawed. And they did this throughout the whole book. We are talking idiotic. I promise. That's as dumb as it gets. That deserves a Darwin Award because that killed their intelligent design. That proved there was nobody intelligent in the Intelligent Design Research Center. That's what that proved. This was shown in a court of law by Barbara Forrest. It completely wiped out Michael Behe and Philip Johnson and all of the other guys. Absolutely decimated them. Total destruction. This happened in 2004. The ID movement has been demonstrated to not be science. And that's the kind of intelligence that they have. That's not much bragging rights, I'll tell you what. That's not much bragging rights at all. Anyway, let me get back to this. Well, oh heck. I'll just read this. I don't need to go back inside. Anyway, he says, now this is the book, Scientists Confront Creationism, Intelligent Design and Beyond, Andrew J. Petto and Lori Godfrey, W.W. Norton Company. This is the second edition, 2007, where they bring in a whole slew of new scientists who absolutely trounce the intelligent design movement, and they are reviewing the literature and the ideas. The plaintiff's attorneys argued that ID was a religious view, a form of creationism, which the courts time and time again have held unconstitutional to advocate in public schools. To defend itself, the school district would have to argue that the purpose for passing the ID policy was secular, not religious, and they failed miserably. It would have to prove that ID was scientific, and this completely destroyed them. They were caught with their pants down, and their cute little bare buttocks were showing. They had no argument. It would also have to prove that the effect of making students aware of gaps or problems in Darwin's theory and intelligent design was done for valid teaching purposes, rather than to promote religion-based anti-evolution. And that's what else this evidence completely wiped out. Their assumption was, if we can show gaps and problems in evolution, then by default it's obvious that intelligent design is the true science. Such is the muddle-headed caveman thinking of these people. It's silly. Their arguments are horrible. It is interesting that the expert witnesses on the defense were the biochemist Michael Behe, the microbiologist Scott Minich, communications professor John Angus Campbell, professor of education Richard M. Carpenter, philosopher and mathematician William A. Dembski, and philosopher Warren A. Nord, and none of them, except Minich and Behe, stayed there to testify. They weren't even allowed to get on the stand. The defense seemed to fall into disarray once dispositions began. This is on page 97. Ken Miller showed step by step by step, scientifically, with true evolutionary science and principles, in a court of law that has the authority to decide the truth based upon the evidence. Ken Miller wiped out Michael Behe's irreducible complexity. He showed it is not scientifically valid. And he showed it for several days. These transcripts are available for public reading. Look up Dover Trial on Google Dover Trial and see. He used a careful analysis of the bacterium flagellum